Are fat-soluble vitamins stored in the body? This is a great question to know the answer to. If you've been considering adding in some nutrition, vitamins, minerals, all that good stuff into your regimen, then you may have been wondering this very question. If that is you, then you are in the right place because I am here to answer that question in today's video. So let's get started. Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Shockley, Doctor of Cause, Chiropractic, board certified in sports medicine, and specialized in clinical nutrition. In this video, we're going to be answering that question, are fat-soluble vitamins stored in the body? This is an answer you want to know before you start supplementing. Then I'll be sharing with you how long fat-soluble vitamins stay in the body. And finally, I will be sharing with you the best sources for these fat-soluble vitamins. There's more to it than just popping pills. Let's dive on in. So, are fat-soluble vitamins stored in the body? The very easy answer is yes. In fact, how this is done is it's absorbed through the small intestine in fat cells, and then is going to be used or put into your fat stores and also your liver if there is an excess. So it absolutely is something that can be stored. This is what's very different between fat-soluble vitamins and water-soluble vitamins. Your fat-soluble vitamins are A, D, E, and K. The rest of the vitamins are all water-soluble. Then the biggest difference is the water-soluble vitamins. So for example, vitamin C, if you take a mega dose of that, then what can happen is your body will use anything that it can, whatever it can absorb, and whatever is in excess is going to be eliminated through your urine. That is very different when you're talking about the fat-soluble vitamins, the A, D, E, and the K. You can't just simply pee out the excess. It is going to be stored in your fat tissue and also your liver, which begs the question of, is that a problem or not? Well, simple answer is yes. That is not something we want to have excess because it can start affecting the ability for your liver to function properly. But we're going to get into more of that in just a moment. Now, before I get into answering the question, how long do fat-soluble vitamins stay in your body? I just want to give you a simple reminder to click that subscribe button down below, turn the notifications on, and hey, while you're at it, give me a big thumbs up if I'm doing a good job for you so far. I am regularly producing videos for you to help you be able to take back control of your health, no matter what the issue may be, whether it's gut health, brain health, digestive system stuff, immune system function, you name it. There are videos there on a regular basis helping you be able to become healthier and healthier. That way you can become unstoppable, which I like to call achieving total body mastery. So again, just click the subscribe button, turn those notifications on, and give me a big thumbs up while you're at it. Thanks so much. Okay. How long can these fat-soluble vitamins stay stored in our body? And it just really kind of depends. I was going through looking at the research and I can see that it's from days to even upward of months. So it all depends on how much are you actually taking, which the one that I like to speak most about is vitamin D, and it's because people have more awareness of vitamin D. Vitamin D, most people are deficient in, but because it is one of these fat-soluble vitamins, I always stress that people should test and get what their vitamin D level is before they just start supplementing with this particular vitamin, because you can end up achieving a toxic level of these fat-soluble vitamins in your system since they will accumulate. There is a lot that has to be done, but there are a lot of people out there that are great at self-medicating. I have done this myself. And we know when we're dealing with infections or we've got a cold or whatever, you can mega dose on vitamin D, taking a lot of vitamin D for a short period of time, because vitamin D is something that your body will use almost similar to an antibiotic. However, we don't want to do mega doses ongoing because we can end up with major issues. And one specifically for vitamin D is when your vitamin levels of vitamin D get high, what will happen is it will start pulling calcium back out of your bone and putting it into your blood. Now that doesn't sound like maybe it's a bad, problem. However, if calcium levels get too high in your blood, your kidneys can shut down on you and you can end up with a heart attack. So really not something you want to mess around with. My favorite phrase to say in this office and, with the people that I'm helping near and wide is that if you're not testing, you're guessing. So you really should have a good idea if you're going to add in any of these fat soluble vitamins to your regimen, where your current levels are already at. That way you can decide if you're using them in a supplement form, how much do you actually need to take? And then down the road, within a month or so after adding them into your regimen, you should probably test them again to see how well has your supplementation and your dietary changes helped to improve that fat soluble vitamin. And are you at a better range? And if so, maybe you don't need the same amount of those vitamins that you were taking. There is a method to the madness, and it is helpful to really know what you're doing before you just start adding things in. Now, I'm super curious. Did you have any idea that these fat soluble vitamins can stay in your system for months at a time? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on that. Fantastic. Okay, we're gonna get into the best sources of these fat soluble vitamins. Now, I'm sure you're no stranger to knowing that whatever we can get out of our food as far as nutrients, vitamins, minerals, all of that, it's superior compared to us using supplementation. Now, there's a time and a place where supplements are needed, and our food supply isn't as awesome what it used to be. So I am an advocate for using supplements when we know what we actually need, which is where that testing piece comes in. However, when you're getting these nutrients from your food, with how that whole process works, and not going to bore you with biochemistry and technobabble, no way. The main thing you need to know is your body will not end up with a toxic level of any of these fat soluble vitamins if you're relying more on your diet as a source for them. So I want to share with you where you can get vitamin A, D, E, and K. So let's jump on in. We're going to start with vitamin A first. It's also known as retinol. Now, vitamin A, you're going to predominantly get from animal sources. It is something that you can find in dairy, but then also meats, particularly in fish, and then also liver. Now, if you are going to eat organ meats, please make sure you're getting it from a animal that was raised the way that God intended them to be. They're not injected with hormones. They're not eating antibiotics or being injected with antibiotics, and they're not eating, GMO foods that they weren't intended to actually eat, because your liver is your main purifier and detoxifier of the blood. So if this specific animal, like a cow, has been adulterated and they've been injected and they've, consumed all these things they're not supposed to, the liver is going to accumulate a lot of that toxic byproduct. It's the filter. So if you're going to consume liver, you want to get it from a clean source. Okay. So your fish, your liver, and some dairy products are good sources of vitamin A. There are some vegetables and fruits that you can get this from. Vitamin A in its natural occurring form is beta carotene. This is where carrots had its claim to fame. Now, whether that's completely true or not is a different story. However, orange types of fruits and vegetables are where you're going to find beta carotene more readily. So of our produce type sources, as I mentioned, carrots are good. So is pumpkin, all of your like orange flesh squash, the winter squash that are getting ready to come into season, great sources. You can also get this from apricots, again, orange in coloring, but then also your dark leafy greens will have beta carotene as well. So add these types of foods into your daily consumption and your body will be able to absorb what it needs of that vitamin A. Now we're going to come back to vitamin D. Vitamin D you will predominantly find in foods that have been fortified, which are not my favorite. So steering away from those, the natural occurring places would be your fatty fish. It's found in those oily fish, your herring, your salmon, sardines. I'm not the biggest fan of those. So this is one that I actually supplement, and I do try to spend some time outdoors in the sunshine without sunblock so that my body can use the sun to help convert what I'm already making in my liver to a usable form of vitamin D. Now, the third vitamin, our fat soluble guys, is vitamin E. Most food sources of vitamin E are not ones you want to be consuming. This is all those vegetable oils that are readily available everywhere and put into products as well. Vegetable oils are not good for you, just so you know. So I'd stay away from those products. You can get vitamin E out of some of your fruits and your vegetables. More specifically, your nuts and your seeds would be better sources of your vitamin E. And then again, there's those fortified foods, but I am a huge fan for eating foods the way that they occur naturally out in nature, not GMO'd, not hybridized crops, organic, like real food the way that God intended. And then the last fat soluble vitamin that we're going to be talking about is vitamin K. Now, your best food sources of this are all of your dark leafy green vegetables, but then a lot of those cruciferous vegetables contain a fair amount of vitamin K as well. So that's your broccoli, your cauliflower, cabbage, kohlrabi, you name it. Those guys are going to be great sources for your vitamin K. So as I'm saying, like the best way to get your nutrients is always out of your food. Try to eat organic wherever you can. If you are on a tight budget, then at least make sure you're abiding by the Dirty Dozen rule. If you haven't heard of that before, just simply go Google the Dirty Dozen. Those produce that appear on the Dirty Dozen, which get updated every single year, are put together according to the Environmental Working Group as these are the foods that contain most pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers. Like they are best at absorbing all of that. You do not want to consume those. So if you can at least purchase organic versions of whatever is on the Dirty Dozen, otherwise avoid them like the plague, that's at least putting you on a better path. If it's not there, then you can assume it's a bit safer for you. There's another list known as the Clean 15. So foods that are on the Clean 15 have been vetted as to be safe. They don't have these toxic, byproducts of all the pesticides, all the fertilizers, all the herbicides that they are using on our crops, so that they are cleaner sources for you to be consuming. Now, if you're looking for more ways of how do I just get more of my vitamins, my minerals, all these nutrients that I need out of my diet, don't worry, I've got you. So look down below this video in the description, click on it so it expands. Look for the Full Body Reset meal plan. This is going to be a week sample of what eating for health and getting all of these fat soluble vitamins plus the rest of them out of diet really looks like. It's a meal plan that has been designed when you're super busy, or maybe you just don't want to cook every single day, or you don't like cooking but know you need to. Super easy meal plan to follow that doesn't have you in the kitchen every single day. And then there's a grocery list in there for your convenience, so you can just pipe everything into Instacart or take it with you to the grocery store. Don't even have to think. And all the recipes are there as well. These have been tested and improved, and they're easy, simple ingredients, short durations, and now you can start eating your way to better health. I appreciate you being here, and we'll see you on a future episode. God bless.